I injected myself for real the substance with the needle in the arm. Film is really a small society with its conflicts, its influence, its power, relationships, the things that don't go as planned, and the human factor, which is the most important, and that interfere with every, creative decision.
You feel things that in the end are to me the most sincere that I have inside me, and that I can express because I don't need to follow the rules of reality.
That's also the magic of cinema. It's like, it's an art of cheating.
Nothing comes fully formed when you write a script. It always starts with an idea, with some intuitions. In my case, with some images and some sound which start to give the vibe of the movie that I want to make. And then I think it's step by step that you get to the core of what is really important, and that the ideas arrive, because I think thematically you kind of make it clear what you want to discuss, and then you welcome the ideas that's going to symbolize it the best.
I don't write a lot of dialogues in my films, so it's true that all the cinematic shocks I think that I had when I grew up watching films were in movies where the grammar was not about words, but was about giving you a sensorial experience, whether it is with a location, whether it is with a framing, with a wide angle or a perspective, that with no word, with a static shot, can give you so much to feel and to receive. And when I write, that's the first thing that I start to do. I research colors, I research visuals, I research sounds, and most importantly, I research symbols that's gonna express my story. Because I know that I'm not gonna express myself with dialogues, but I know that I have the images that are gonna express the main ideas and the main intentions. And also, I remember that the biggest shock in cinema that I had were also with things that were not totally controlled, that have a part where your imagination is also free to go, to put in it what each one of us have in mind.
To me, that's cinema. That's the way also I love to express myself, and I think the way it can also speak to anyone, whatever the language of the country is. The movie is all about symbolism. In the film there is not a lot of dialogue, so all my filming language goes through symbolism. It was also inventing our own techniques, because there is no rules that tells you, okay, when someone is gonna be burst with your back open, you have to do it like that, because basically it hasn't been done.
Accomplishing what I had in my head, it's a long journey. It can be really tough on the way, I think, for all of us. But in the end, I'm really proud that the movie responded, because I think, I allowed myself to be strong and ambitious, and to think that this movie, was important, would matter, and would have a response in the world. But in the end, you never know. So
I write my framings also because I edit, so I exactly know in advance what I want to create, how I want to frame each shot. Everything is super, super detailed. I don't need to have the real LA view. What I need is one palm tree against a blue sky, and this very simple image is so strong in what it says. It says, yes, it's the place of dream, it's the place of happiness, it's something that shines. Just the single shot that you can shoot with one camera in a limited crew bring me that freedom that is so creative that I can use the rest of the money elsewhere to create other things.
Prosthetics that we had is like almost unknown since, the Thing and the prosthetic supervisor ended up in mental hospital, I think, after the Thing, because it's huge, and I think we don't realize how it adds a lot of complexity to just creating great performance, and everything was kind of tied to those constraints in terms of timings, in terms of the order we had to shoot. So sometimes we had to shoot in totally absurd order because of the prosthetic constraint. It's so many hours in the chair to get this done. It's so uncomfortable to wear. So definitely that's not the easiest for the actors to work with, and so that's why also we ended up like having such a long shoot, because I wanted to do everything for real, but then we ended up shooting almost 5 months, I think.
The limitations are a great way to get creative. You can have maybe $1,000 to build a house, but everyone can build a house, it's just a matter of money. But making something in the mise en scène or in the direction that is going to be only you, in the way that it only looks like you, I think bring powerful ideas that only you can do. It's how you do your own things, how you create your own reality, your own tools, best link that you can have with your DP, because then you speak the same language,
Where is the rickshaw? How do we get it down here? All these kind of things.
We should be on a, rather than on a stand, maybe on a track.
Flat on.
Flat on. Yeah. Communication is so much easier because he has almost the same brain than yours. All sound and going all the way to success, like not having any boundaries the way I have in my real life, being able to go for a visceral and very sensitive journey. Raising you.
Unfortunately, even if something changed a little bit, like it's still a whole different world when you're a woman and you have very strong ideas and very specific vision and you are very detailed about what you want. It's true, you're often going to be considered as you're a pain in the ass, and to me, it's part of the whole system still that has these representations. And we're speaking about the fairy tales. And I think those things, to me, are also infusing so much in every level, And I think that's also why now that, there are more female filmmakers that, can make their films, I think it's interesting to see what they want to express.
And it's like something that is silently telling your brain, that, okay, after that limit, you don't exist anymore. And I said okay, I think now it's time for me to really do something with that.
And there is no dialogue. It's everything through, framings, silencings, what you hear, what you know, something is happening but that you don't necessarily see, because I think what is out of frame is also very powerful in a way. And I think when I had written this scene, I knew that it was the way that I could take the audience from a relatively, let's say, realistic, setting for the story to a place where, okay, the rules were clearly not reality. But I wanted to ground it in a very visceral way so everyone could relate to that experience. And I wanted everyone to feel, okay, I can be Elizabeth.